What if stepping away was the most powerful step forward? Welcome to a special podcast miniseries recorded on location at Prana Maya Resort in Belize, a sanctuary envisioned by Steve Hall, the billionaire business mogul who created Prana Maya as a place where success, healing, and purpose finally converge. In this series, you'll hear unfiltered conversations about confidence, alignment, healing, and building entrepreneurial success, along with what it really takes to return to yourself without losing your ambition. Experience the Prana Maya mini-series and go to pranamayaresort.com for more details, where transformation isn't taught, it's lived. Let's go. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Grasp Confidence Podcast. My name is Tara LaFon Gooch, and today I'm on site in beautiful Belize at an amazing wellness retreat center called Prana Maya. And I'm joined by Steve Hall, the owner. Steve, thank you so much for coming to the show today.
Oh, you're so welcome. We'd love to host you. This is great.
This is an amazing resort. It's so different than any other retreat center I've been to. And it's really a different vibration. What I love is that you're incorporating wellness, this beautiful environment, but also podcasting to bring other people's audiences here, even when they can't come. I would love to hear a little bit about your vision and what brought this into reality for you.
I've been really trying to engage with the health and wellness industry business for a while. I'm with assisted livings that I have, a drug and alcohol rehab business I've had, and then I've had limited success on what that looked like, and so I had an opportunity to build a resort here in Belize, and I thought I'm just going to finally put my vision in place, and so this is what we built. And the idea is for people to have a real aha moment when they get here. We've tried to create everything here with that in mind, and inviting groups down that have podcasts and different followings that have different products they're selling for health and wellness. And we're really trying to have this place be their place. And that's really been the whole theme that we've tried to create. But also, it's been amazing that how many people have come, just been engaging with us. There's been a very positive reaction on that, and we're just really pleased to host people that are really pushing into the health and wellness in a phenomenal way. I'm very pleased to be associated with that.
Wow. And your background didn't start in health and wellness per se. You have a lot of real estate that you were involved in, commercial real estate, multifamily. You did say you were involved in assisted living and drug and alcohol rehabilitation, but was there a point when this became more of a priority for you?
That when you've been in business for 47 years for different reasons, there's no one point that is like the aha moment. It's kind of, you become interested and you start working toward that. The information I've gotten so much since the online has been phenomenal, and mostly from podcasts. That listening to people and you go, wow. Then my veil has been lifted, especially in the last 8 years or so, where and COVID was obviously a big change for everybody, and that was just a real place where people were looking into their health differently,
right,
and what to trust the government, what to trust with their doctors, and so on. Wow. So I've had an interest, but then it's escalated as I've had more time. I'm not as involved with the businesses I've had in the past, and so I've had more time to kind of focus on it. So it's more of a direction than that one time that I've been in. And the more I'm in it, the more interested I am in it. It just has so many phenomenal trails looking at our bodies and how they're created and how we're supposed to treat them, and the food is medicine part and so on. So
Wow, that's such a powerful thing. And, we talked before we started our podcast today about just entrepreneurship in general, the mindset that's required for it. And I do want to talk a little bit about, you're very successful right now. This is amazing what you've built. This is an incredible thing.
Thank you.
And for everybody who's tuning in and watching this, we're on an island right now. This is a world-class facility. But was it always this way, right? Because I think so many times as new entrepreneurs, we see people who are more seasoned like yourself, and we just assume they've always been successful, they've always had it figured out. But I know that wasn't like that for you. So I would love to hear when times were a little different for you, because so many people are facing that challenge right now, and they don't know how to navigate that next path of uncertainty. So could you take us back to a time when things were a little different?
Yeah, that's easy. Yeah, it's on my mind all the time. I've lived through now 5 major recessions.
Wow.
That, rock your world, all the way back into the 80s and counting. And so even with good businesses, they go upside down in a hurry during a recession. But on a personal side, one of the big things I've had to learn is, in my what my belief system is, and what money is. Money is a currency. It's a current. It's a vibration. How you kind of view money, how you view success, how you view all these things. I dealt with, when I was in my 30s, a real aha moment of anxiety. Obviously, being a young entrepreneur, anxiety was something I had to wrestle with all the time. By the time I was in my 30s, I had 3 young children. The business, everything was kind of going on at the same time. Debt, a recession, piled on top of each other. And I remember a time, it was a Sunday afternoon, rainy, and for some reason I pulled out some of the family albums, and this was back at a time when you actually took pictures to get developed and
right.
Had them in order, and back when we rode dinosaurs. But anyway, that was a long time ago. And I started looking through, and it was pictures of birthdays, holidays, vacations. So Christmas, vacation, the birthdays, and that's what it was. There's a monumental parts because it was a lot more expensive to develop back then. And so that's kind of what the pictures that you had. And I can remember looking at some of these pictures and going, wow, I remember that time, how anxious I was. I remember how uptight I was during that Christmas time or during that birthday. And so I went to another picture, had the same thing. I can remember how anxious I was, but what I couldn't remember was what it was about. For the life of me, and this was probably a span of maybe 5-8 years in the future of the pictures, and I couldn't come close to remembering what was I anxious about. And I just had that magical aha moment of how important was it to burn up my energy, my anxiety, all that on something I can't even remember. And it really helped me just kind of prioritize in how to really get my mindset on a different level. Just looking at that one principle, I couldn't remember what the crisis was at the time.
Wow. That's so powerful, because I feel like, the anxiety pulls us into the future, depression pulls us into the past, but it's so easy for us to forget the most powerful moment, which is right here, right now. It's that present moment. And what you're saying is you were looking back at these pictures, which are beautiful memories, but you remembered the anxiety because you weren't anchored in that present moment. And so much of that too is felt not only by ourselves, but by the people that we love, by the people we're around with. I mean, There's been times, I'm sure, when my husband would say, you were here, but you weren't here.
Right.
And how often that in that entrepreneurial life cycle do we stay and then not here?
Yeah, I've spent a career being 6 months to 6 years ahead in my thinking. And I've had a lot of employees and different businesses, and then I felt responsible for, which I was. But I really had to refocus on try to get in the present. It was really because I knew how important it was not to be in the present, to be ahead. I had to be. That was my job.
Yeah.
And so it's a very tough discipline to shift those gears, and because you see the effects and what you need to be thinking about 6 months ahead, 6 years ahead, whatever your planning is. But we miss so much. I mean, I'm going back and now listening to music that I missed because I had the phone on my ear so much of the time. When cell phones first came out, I had a $3,000 a month cell bill as I was traveling multi-state, and that's when you had the first cell phones out.
Yeah.
And then as they progressed, the bill lowered, but not my time on the phone. And so I really am sorry that I've missed that, by not being more present. That's an absolute truth.
Wow. And I'm a firm believer that gratitude can actually anchor us to the present. It's one of the principles that we talk about on this podcast so often, and it's what GRASP stands for, GRASP. The G is for gratitude. It's one of those things that really defined me and what I'm trying to do and set me up for success because it started to anchor me finally to that present moment. Have you had any experiences like that with gratitude or something similar that have helped bring you back when you feel so pulled into the future?
The victim mentality is a
right.
wonderful thing to talk about.
Right. Yep.
It's that, am I part of a problem or part of a solution? Am I the victim? And I have to say I've been very fortunate. My father, I'm the youngest of 6 kids, and my father was a factory worker in a paper mill, in this nasty paper mill that made asbestos paper.
Wow.
The nastiest of the nasty.
Yeah.
And he worked 6 days 1 week, 7 days the next. That was his schedule. So he'd get enough overtime for a family of 6. Never complained, never was the victim. And he fortunately got to live a nice retirement. And unfortunately, a lot of the guys he worked with didn't because of all the illness that they had and death. But I know we're not supposed to compare with people, but we do need to compare with people. We do need to look at, is that person a victim? Is he, what am I emulating? What do I want to be like?
Yeah.
And and so I've always looked at, there's no way that I worked harder than my dad. There's no way. And so to really have that mentality, and I've been able to travel a lot doing mission trips to different countries and see how people live. You got to get that any type of just victim word in your head.
Yes.
You just got to get out of your head. And because it is just absolutely a killer. Just every part of your life, it really is. And it's so prevalent now that everybody's a victim.
And you stay stuck that way. That victim mentality is your anchor to everything bad that you think has happened to you, right? And it keeps you in that perpetual cycle of stuckness, of sameness, and you can't propel yourself forward if you're a victim. And there's a lot of professional victims out there. There's a lot of people who have become experts at being victims to the point where that's their reality now, and they might not even recognize it. And I feel like that's part of the victim mentality, is it almost keeps you blind to the opportunities, to the success that is possible for you. Do you see that a lot with entrepreneurs that you work with?
Yeah, very much so. Such a big part of not only projection of people around you to your customers. You lose the law of attraction if you're a victim.
100%.
Totally lose that. You're manifesting, it's no good.
100%.
You just are in a whole different role of bitching and complaining, and you have everything that's broadcast, the spell casting or broadcasting, is all part of this victim. It's the Democrats against the Republicans, against this, against that, and it's this constant fight that is trying to draw us into that negative energy.
Fear-based, right? Fear, lack, scarcity.
And it's really hard because the veil starts to lift, and you see some about our food, and you see some things about it. I mean, that's just, it is what it is. It's what are you going to do about it?
Right.
Type of thing. And it's discouraging. I mean, a lot of things are very discouraging. There's no doubt about that, and I don't want to take anything away from that. But either you're a problem or you're a solution. It's your choice.
That's right.
And how are you going to get your mindset on that? And where are you going to put your positive energy? One of the things that really affected me a lot was the Japanese guy experiment with water.
Yes, yes. And that's where he took rice, put water in the jar, wrote negative things on some jars, positive things on the others, spoke negatively to other jars. Is
He
that
actually
right?
spoke to it.
He spoke to it. Okay.
Yeah, actually spoke.
Wow.
And so he took 2 vials of water, spoke negative to one, spoke positive to the other, froze it, and the ice crystals on the negative were all distorted, and the ice crystals on the positive were all perfect. And you go, whoa, wait a minute, time out. And they've done several more experiments with music, with writing things, I mean, and you go, so what's my body made out of?
Water.
And how is every word, every frequency, every thought, affect? And it's been proven. I mean, you talk to houseplants and they grow. People that are real negative get sick easier. I mean, it's just so many things that are absolutely true. But that really hit me on especially the positive energy part.
Yeah.
What I'm going to express, what I'm going to say. Where do I put that energy? Because it's a frequency. Our voice is a frequency. Frequency medicine is a big thing now.
That's right.
And so we can remember so many times in our lives when a positive saying, when something positive came out, or something negative hit us, how it affected us. And so why don't we think that is important for us?
It's everything. And, when we're talking about the victim mentality and, belief systems, self-esteem, all of that, success and entrepreneurship, if we are constantly telling ourselves negative things or constantly reminding ourselves, hey, this is where you're from, you don't belong there. You're the girl or you're the guy that did this and that in the past, and because of that, it excludes you from anything else going forward. If you're constantly reminding yourself of these negative things and reinforcing this, your body that is made of water, again, your body is made of water, what is that doing to you on a cellular level, on just everything, right? We're not even talking about just mindset with this. It's the entire system holistically, right?
Absolutely. I mean, every piece of your body is affected by it. It is. I mean, there's so much evidence now coming out on healing, on every part of it, with attitude, on how your mind is working, how you're visioning it. It's very powerful. And so much of the opposite, you can just decide where it comes from, is the opposite of holding us back from who we really are. We've been created in such a phenomenal way. Every part of our body how it all works, just how I can see you and how I can talk to you and how I can communicate and on and on. I mean, it's just, it's amazing the stuff that we can eat that is not good, and yet our body continues to function. And so it's really so encouraging when you get on this trail to see what a beautiful thing happened at creation and around us, and how you connect to it and how we're part of it. And it's just really, every day I'm so encouraged by reading, learning something more on how this flows. Like, one of the fun things here is we put grounding mats in all the beds. And I didn't know.
I slept great, by the way, last night.
Yeah.
It was awesome, yeah.
I didn't know what grounding was. I couldn't spell grounding. I mean, I'm just kind of like, what's grounding? And so, I look it up and, oh, wow, that's grounding. That's pretty cool. Buy some mats, guys. Let's put them in the mattresses. So
every detail, and that's one thing that I've experienced, is that every single imaginable detail. There's local sourdough bread downstairs for breakfast. Everything is very well intentioned, organic, healthy. The way our bodies are designed to eat. And it's also in a community which humans are designed to interact in. We're not designed for isolation. We're designed for community. We're designed for collaboration, not competition. And then you pair that with, paradise, right? We're on a beautiful island. We're being fed very nutritious, high quality food. Every detail imaginable has been thought of. Grounding mats in the bed. It's amazing.
did you try the glasses next to your bed? The
Yes.
light blocking glasses?
Those are amazing too. Yeah.
Yeah, that we've got a great vendor that is giving us to us on consignment that people can try them, and then if they want to buy them, we have them here to purchase. And just to really help your body shut down at night, to start wearing those, from blocking out the light that keeps your brain going. So I know about that much about it.
They're great.
I look like Jack Nicholson when I put them on, but that's okay.
I'll have to see that.
Yeah.
But it's just been a fantastic experience already. And, I love as well just being surrounded by entrepreneurs. These are my people, right? And you and I were talking about entrepreneurship and the struggles of it, and also the blessings of it, and the hills and valleys that come with all of it. But one thing is for certain: when you're operating at a place of purpose, when you're operating at a place of high intention with clarity, with a genuine love for other people, for raising that collective, even if there are struggles, it's doable. You can still wake up in the morning. You still have that fire under you to get it going and to keep continuing, right?
Well, I'm addicted to it. So,
Right.
that's all I've ever done is startups.
Yeah.
And, when I built this place, I've never done a resort before. And my people that I know went, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
And so
You don't have experience in this, right?
Yeah, it's hard to explain the entrepreneurial mindset. It's either I do this or I'm done.
Right.
It's like there's no choice. And so when you come to that conclusion, if you're a true entrepreneur, you just come to that conclusion and stop your whining. And it's just like, I really had no choice, because I couldn't do it over there. I'm going to die over there, because that's not who I am.
And where was over there?
Yeah. And so either I'm going to go die, or I'm going to take a risk, because everything's set up on risk reward. Everything is. Of having a family, or a job, or a relationship. I can't be in a relationship with you unless I risk. I got to be vulnerable to you if I'm in a real relationship. You've got to know who I am and where my heart is, and so I take a risk of either you're going to like me or not. Every relationship is that way, and I think that's one of the big problems we face with some of the younger generation now, is with all the technology issues. You have to take a risk to be in a real relationship. You have to step out and decide if I'm going to be vulnerable enough to engage. to actually go eye to eye, engage, get to know somebody, share who I am, so something's real. And so the real part of life has to be lived on a different plane. It has to be lived on a different frequency. It has to be done with a risk.
Yeah.
That's just what it is.
Wow.
I didn't make up the rules.
So take us back to this time, before this was a startup, when this was in your imagination, when it was a vision. Because so many people stop before they even get started. And they let self-doubt take over. They let limiting beliefs take over, somebody else's narrative, right? We know the stats. A lot of startups fail. And sometimes that logical brain takes over and we never actually take action on that dream. So for everybody who's listening, maybe they're thinking of a startup, maybe they have a dream, but they don't know how to go one step forward to make it a reality. What would you say to somebody like that who's in that boat right now, who says, you know what, I have this passion, I have this desire in my heart, what do I do? Or when do I start?
I've had a lot of people bring ideas to me. You know, what do you think type of thing.
Yeah.
And there's a reality of there's only a certain percentage of us that are really geared for, designed for entrepreneurship.
It's true.
And it's okay just to have a job. It really is. It's not okay to try to be an entrepreneur if you're not, because it just, whatever part of your brain, I can't do so many things. I am so limited. I really am. I can't spell, and people can't read my handwriting. I can't run computers. I am so limited.
You're very humble.
And no, I'm not being humbled. I'm just being truthful to you. I wouldn't hire me in a job. And my wife had told me that, you're unhireable. So
those are the best entrepreneurs, though, the ones that are like super unhireable.
Yeah. So I'm unhireable, so I have no choice.
Right.
So you've got to kind of be fair enough with yourself and have people tell you something that, you know, because they can identify some of the people close to you if you're ready even to be an entrepreneur, walk on that road. I have no other choice, just kill me or let me be an entrepreneur. Yeah. It's almost that has to be the first step to step into it. The other part, it's not fair because entrepreneurs are typically artists. I can't draw, but I know how to put things together. It's an art form. Mm-hmm. And I know how to do that instinctively. It's just part of my gifting that I was given in that one category. So, but then you have to learn the skills of really how to put a strategic plan together. Yeah. Because we're linear beings. Yeah. We live in a linear world. And so linear has to be planned, has to be linear. You have to have a vision, a conceptualization, and then an action plan of what you're going to do. And then you have all the strategies that go along when the business gets going. And so you have to be very strategic. And you have to step out of the business almost like a consultant to look at your own business all the time, to really understand. That's very difficult when you're in the heat of it.
Yeah, and when you're in the middle of it, it's very difficult, right?
In my early years, I brought on an advisory board. Mm. And it was just friends that were in business. And we would meet once or twice a year, you know, feed them some food and hang out and kind of have an agenda of here's the things we're thinking about. And they would give us feedback, and it wasn't an official board. We could do anything we wanted to. That wasn't part of the problem, but there's wisdom in many counselors, and so we just thought, well, these guys are wise. We like them. They're going to be truthful with us, and so we did that for several years, and that was helpful to have that. And they ended up talking a lot about their business too, so it almost became
like a mastermind.
Yeah, type of thing.
Yeah.
We didn't have a word for it back then. It was get together and have lunch type of thing. It's what we called it.
Yeah.
First, you really got to understand your personality, and if you really understood what it costs, you probably wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Because it costs more money and more time and It just flat does.
Peace of mind, relationships.
And so that's where you got to take a look of if I got no choice or not. I've got no choice. I got to climb that hill.
Wow.
And just realize who you are, and it's either kill me or get out of the way. And I've had several businesses that failed. I've lost a lot of money in different businesses. And you go, well, that didn't work. Let's try another one. And I've had a lot of very tight financial situations, extreme. I mean, yeah. So, but I knew I had no choice, and I'm not touting success. I'm not. I just was fortunate enough to make more money than I've lost, and that's just the reality of being an entrepreneur. And you look at any entrepreneur, that's usually the case.
And it's not dwelling on those successes because they are inevitable, right? That's part of life. It's not dwelling on the successes. It's continually getting back up, rising again. But you and I talked before the podcast, and you brought up just, step one. If everything falls and you start to fail, what's the first step? You said don't panic, which I think is such perfectly simple advice, but so few people follow it. Why would you say that is the first step?
Well, as we were going through, I said there's 4 steps of problem solving. The first step is don't panic. Your brain just shuts down. Deductive reasoning shuts down.
Yeah.
You got to be able to think clearly. You got to be able to deduct. You got to be able to listen. You got to be able to see. And anxiety, panic, just shuts it down.
Yeah.
And I used to come in, I traveled a lot, and I had multi-state business, and I'd come back into the office, and I tried to be back in on Fridays, and I had a controller. She was a wonderful woman, and she took everything a little too seriously, but that's okay. She came in and plopped down to my office, and she'd have a stack of papers this big for me. And her name was Chris, and I'd say, all right, Chris, did anybody die?
Put it back into perspective,
did
right?
anybody die?
Right.
And she said, no. I said, okay.
Yep.
What do you got?
Yep.
And the second step, which most people don't, on problem solving of the 4 steps, is identify the problem. You really got to think of yourself as almost like a consultant for your own business.
Yeah.
And that's where having other people around you to speak into is important, to really understand what the business is, where the money flows, the operations part, the customer base, the back office, your marketing plan. You really got to understand the pieces of it, every piece. And then you come up, because it's usually a combination of things that's the problem. This affected this, the marketing affected, this customer affected the back office, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then you go to solutions. You come up with solutions and execute. But anxiety, I've heard this, it's so crazy, that I don't want to stop being anxious because something bad will happen. If I'm not thinking about it negatively somehow, and you go, wait a second, what did you just say?
It's a little counterintuitive, right?
It's like,
a little bit.
Yeah, I'm afraid if I'm not anxious about something, then something's going to go wrong.
Wow.
And you go, okay, doesn't make any sense, but if that's how you feel.
Yeah. Wow. That's so important. Again, it's getting out of that survival mode, that fight or flight mode, which entrepreneurs tend to be in, a lot of times, especially if you lose a lot of money, especially if a deal falls through, especially if bankruptcy and other things happen. You can really go into that panic, anxiety, fight or flight mode, survival mode, and then watch as you continue to catastrophize and spiral your way, not to success, but to more failures. It's so important to break that cycle because you can't think creatively and be in survival mode at the same time. It's not possible. Our brains are not designed for that, right? What would you say to somebody who may be in that situation right now, Steve, who's saying, you know what, all right, I'm facing bankruptcy, my company's closing, we're not doing so great. they're starting to spiral and catastrophize, what would you say to that person?
Sorry.
It's part of life. Welcome to the club, right? Is that what you would tell them? Welcome to the club.
Yeah, a bumper sticker says it all.
Yeah.
You know, it just happens. And so it just does. And it's, you know, there's a book out years ago, Who Moved My Cheese? And, you know, there's all these different things that things just keep shifting. And sometimes good shifts, sometimes bad shifts. And you get down to basics of, have I missed a meal? Have I had to sleep out in the rain? I mean, you get down to some basic things of what's important.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're not guaranteed anything. That's right. It's not how we're made, not how we're developed. And so, you know, whatever trail you're on, it's always going to have twists and turns. It just is. Mm-hmm. There's a glamour part to entrepreneurs that, you know, is only true on the good days. There's the reality of life. I mean, how do you explain marriage? And nobody'd do it if they told the whole story.
Right.
How do you explain having kids?
Yeah.
They're like expensive and loud and a pain in the rear, but you take a bullet for them.
That's right.
You know, how do you explain all the ups and downs, emotions and things? And so that's just what entrepreneur is, the same thing. You have a desire to build, create, influence, or do whatever. I can say, in my opinion, if you're doing it for money, and that's your goal, you'll be very disappointed.
You'll be very disappointed. Money is the byproduct.
You'll be very disappointed. You won't treat people well.
That's right.
You will, even if you achieve money, you're not going to enjoy it.
That's right.
And so you have to really take a look at, what's my motivation?
Yeah.
Am I in the creative part? Mm-hmm. What am I really desiring here? I mean, I like money just good. I mean,
right.
I like money. I mean, that's not, but I have to keep in check of, am I doing this for money? And everything is about the dollar, then you can't really build very well like that. You go substandard on what you're building. And that's just, you have to kind of take a real hard look of how to balance that part out. It's a creative process by a creative person that has no choice. And that I have to do it this way. I can't function in this other world like this. I can't function. I have to be in this creative part. That means I've got to create my own world differently. You're creating your own world of how you're going to play.
Wow.
And that's the reality of it. And there's a cost for doing that on every level. There is. But if you have no choice,
you persevere.
Come on in, the water's warm.
That's right. But you can't be afraid of failure. You can't be afraid of embarrassing yourself, right? You can't be afraid of other people's opinions of you. You can't let victim mentality keep you in the past. You can't let even past failures of what you've done in business dictate your next move. I think that's really important too. It's going into that next call with a smile, regardless of what the previous call happened to, be or circumstance. There is a little insanity to that, right?
I had a business partner, and he really was not real entrepreneurial, but he was a good pairing for me. And I would say, "Having any fun?" And he'd go, "Is this supposed to be fun?"
I didn't get the memo.
Yes.
Right.
It's supposed to be fun.
That's right.
And we're great friends, but he for some reason connected with me, and he's not real entrepreneurial, but phenomenal operator.
Yeah.
But he's not an entrepreneur.
Yep.
And this is a playground.
Yep.
It's a big sandbox, and you create this little castle and this moat and this. You have fun.
You have to have fun. It's part of the journey of it. If you're not enjoying that journey, again, it's the having fun is being present-minded too. If you're not having fun, you're in the past, you're in the future, you're somewhere else. But it's that fun that continues to drive you and make you want to continue to do this, even if something bad happens, right?
Absolutely, it's fun, but if you want to be refined,
yeah, it's
the place to go.
It's the ultimate mirror for who you are, right? Entrepreneurship.
Yeah, I mean, I said one year, I knew that God wanted to do some things with me.
Yeah.
So I recommended that he bring some sandpaper, and he showed up with an axe.
You're like, wait, I was expecting refining, not chopping down, right?
I didn't think I needed all that, but okay, whatever.
Yep.
Some things needed to change.
Some things needed to change. Wow. Steve, you have such a fountain of knowledge. I am so just privileged to be here. This is an amazing opportunity. Learning from you it's really something I wasn't expecting with this. And as an entrepreneur who helps other entrepreneurs, I'm a coach, I help other entrepreneurs, we're consultants. I see this struggle again and again. It's entrepreneurs that can't get out of their own way, that can't get out of their own head, that can't take that next step because of X, Y, Z, that are stuck in the victim mentality. But you're proof that there's another side to that if you just keep persevering, if you continue to have that belief, and it's a stubbornness. We're the most stubborn people on the planet, am I right?
I've heard that about me.
I've heard it about me too. My mom always said that, by the way.
I've heard that.
But it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. So if your mom has told you that you're stubborn or impatient, it's okay. I was told that a bunch of times too growing up, right?
Yeah, I graduated from high school with a 1.67 grade point average. Didn't go to college.
Yep.
And, I did enough in high school to get out and play sports.
Yep.
And so I had no interest in it.
Yep.
It just interests me at all.
Yeah.
And so I'm when you are driven into things, naturally, it's a flow.
Yeah.
And it's just really important to get the veil lifted and get in the flow and the rhythm and the frequencies you've talked about, and you really have a handle on that and what you teach and so on. Because if not, we're just always just kind of off or agitated, and we can't really feel it.
Yeah.
And it's like music. Some music you can dance with, and other music I couldn't. I don't get the beat. I don't understand. I hear jazz and I'm going, that makes me nervous. I can't hear jazz.
Same.
I have to have different music because we're all a certain way. Other people hear jazz and they, oh man, I get it. We all have certain patterns in our flow. And I don't know how else to put it. When you get stuck, you've got to really get in the flow. If you want to do it through meditation and prayer, however you want to really start to understand a higher level. But the entrepreneurs can't live on the base level.
No.
They can't. You have to elevate 2 or 3 levels up to be able to see things coming.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to understand kind of the rhythm that's coming at you in business. And you got to be ahead of the curve. You've got to see the economy, you've got to see the competition, you got to see, a few years ago, if you were a writer of computer programming, that was the guaranteed job.
Yeah.
They're letting them go
left and right.
Mm-hmm. Because AI is writing them now.
Yep.
And it's just like, I just thought I had the perfect career for the rest of my life.
Yep.
I'm sorry guys, there's no such thing. It doesn't exist.
No such thing. It's about being adaptable, right? Because change is inevitable, growth is optional, and regardless of where we are in life, if you're not ready to adapt, you're dying on the vine, right? So it's not survival of the fittest necessarily, it's survival of the most adaptable. And I think that's the key to entrepreneurship right there. You have to be willing to adapt and keep up with the changes that are constant. And right now, technologically speaking, we're at a faster pace than we've ever been before in human history. So we're at a cusp of some really transformational things that are happening right now, not just in business, but I mean, just us as a species. I don't even know where this could take us, but things are changing, things are evolving, and it's happening. So I think that's important as well, that again, this is not the time to be stuck.
With change, that opportunities just go astronomical.
Astronomical.
Yeah, there's so many places to play. And so change is always, to be dynamic means change.
Yeah.
In your personal life, you want to be static or dynamic. If you wanted to be dynamic, then it's always about change. If you want to be in business, you want dynamic, then it's always about change. And to keep, looking ahead where this is going to go.
Yeah.
And that's the fun part. That's the art part. That's the, you can complain about, they keep changing this and how am I going to figure it out? And I'm going to bitch about this or I'm going to complain about that.
Right.
And you go, guys, time out.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is, maybe you just need to get a job. Either that or stop being a victim.
Oof.
Yeah, it's.
I love the tough love.
Make a choice.
Yeah.
Maybe you're just not cut out for it.
Yeah.
If you're going to be a victim, because you're never going to be happy with this.
That's right.
And I hate to be Captain Obvious, but you need to take a hard look.
That's right.
At what it's going to be.
That's right. Oh, I love that. And to your point as well, I think every entrepreneur needs a mentor around them that is not going to tell them what they want to hear. Sometimes they need that mentor, that advisor that will tell them, stop being a victim, stop playing small. You're doing this to yourself.
Well, I like a few people that tell me good things.
That too.
But yeah. Like a few of those.
Just a few. You gotta mix it in,
a couple
right?
of those that make me feel good.
Right.
And then I got to have a few of the other ones too.
That's right.
You have to have a mix.
You got to have a mix. Wow, I love that. Any final last words for anybody watching this podcast right now?
No, just encourage. This is the fun of life, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, have a dream, have a passion, have a vision, watch it come out of the ground. I mean, have a story to tell.
Yeah.
Have a story to tell. I mean, I've run into so many people that are so boring. It's just like, and I'm like, life is interesting and it's fun and it's dynamic, and how you embrace it.
Yeah.
And really take a hold of it. That's life with a capital L. And live life with a capital L or little L and get a job. And it's just make a choice.
Make a choice.
Either one's okay.
Yeah.
But if you're an entrepreneur, come on, let's go.
Come on, we gotta do it.
Let's do it.
That's right. I love that. Oh, have fun, live. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Grasp Confidence Podcast. Don't forget to share this episode because it is so valuable. Listen, what we talked about today can lead to somebody's next breakthrough. So share it with your audiences, share it on your networks, share it with that person in your life who's starting that business right now, because they could use these tools that we are talking about today. So thank you so much, Steve.
Thank you.
It was an absolute pleasure, my friend.
That's good.
We will catch you on the next episode of Grasp Confidence.